Alrighty, question one. Transportation along with infrastructure are top concerns for District 4 residents. Road improvements on North Lamar are under the control of the Texas Department of Transportation. Project Connect is proposing another urban rail line to come north to Highland, which is Proposition 1. Pedestrian crossings have been proposed for North Lamar, and walking and biking bridges have been proposed on North Lamar to the transit center and over I-35 where Walmart and many jobs are located. Please tell us how you will work to address transit problems in District 4 and throughout Austin, and whether or not you support Proposition 1.
Hello? Transportation is a very complicated problem, and there's no quick or easy fix, so we have to use every tool in the toolbox. First, we need a better focus on our bus system. Folks in District 4 and in North Austin ride the bus, and that takes many cars off the road and keeps folks out of traffic. As a matter of fact, the line running up and down North Lamar down to Guadalupe is the most used bus line in the entire city, and at one point was the most heavily used in the state. Houston actually, without adding any extra capital or increasing the budget at their metro, managed to redraw their bus lines in such a way to acknowledge that the city has grown and changed, so that folks can really get where they're coming from to where they're going more effectively and efficiently with less transfers. So first, I want a real focus on rethinking our bus system. Second, we need the pedestrian infrastructure within District 4 to support transit so that folks have an option other than single occupancy vehicles. Third, I support planning more city centers, bringing more services and retail near our neighborhoods where we want them so that folks don't have to get in their car if they just want to pick up a carton of milk. We have less grocery stores in District 4 by far than in any other district. And then finally, I made the personal decision not to vote for this year's bond election. I am very supportive of an integrated rail plan, but this plan in itself costs more per mile than many plans across the country have. And I want to make sure that our rail plans and our mass transit plans are cost effective.
So you're probably going to hear a lot of repetition. I hate to disappoint you, but transportation is a complicated issue, and it's one that I've been working on through the course of the time that I've lived in the Highland area. I mentioned, I think in my intro, that I served on the Alliance for Public Transportation, and have also worked on a number of initiatives to create the kind of town center concepts that Greg was just mentioning. I think creating an infrastructure where you don't necessarily have to get on a major, get in your car and get on a major transportation corridor to get somewhere is important to increasing the availability of jobs and amenities in communities. Highland looks very different today than it did when I moved in, and I like to think that I contributed, at least in some small part, to helping improve the circumstances there. I've long supported mass transit and would really like to see us move a mass transit proposal forward in this city. I struggle very much with the current proposal, and ultimately not going to support it either, but am committed to, on my first day in office, picking up the pen and calling folks and working on a proposal that I really think Austinites can get behind. I think we should trust Austinites who chose to have geographic representation. Let's put a plan on the table that all 10 districts and all Austinites can get behind.
Excuse me, I'm sure I don't blast your ears. Well, like you said, you're going to hear the same thing over and over on some respect. Our transportation issue is challenging. I personally believe in leaving as small a carbon footprint as possible, but our unfortunate transportation situation makes it very challenging for me, and I'm sure other people. I'm totally against the Project Connect Prop 1 bond, whatever name they put on it. I'm against it. I heard from Capital Metro themselves, one of their, I guess, unauthorized reps, that it was created to cater to the developers in East Austin. We don't need that up here. We need what works for the people that are already here. We need more bus routes, extended routes, buses that run more often and efficiently. The rail we do have, every time I see it, it's empty. So why would we be sinking money into something else when that one doesn't work? We need to get the people, everybody, at the district level, going to their partners, their homes, find out what works best for them. We need better sidewalks. I've injured my ankle numerous times or come close to walking in front of a car that didn't see me because there's no sidewalks. I'm walking in parking lots and streets. We need bike lanes. We need something that works for the people now. I'm familiar with the Austin B-Cycle that centers downtown. That would be great up here. We need to talk to Elliot McFadden and his people behind that program. But we need for what works for the people that are here now, not what may come in 5-10 years down the road.
I just wanted to get the pause. I am against the trend. Okay, I'm against the trend. Not so close. You know, I don't need the mic, to be honest with you. I'm against the train because, one, you look at it, they're not going to turn an inch of dirt till 2018. They are proposing a ridership of 9,000 per day. At the cost of what they're looking at, $1.4 billion. That's $155,000 per rider. You know, everybody's kind of looking at it per mile. I look at it per rider. The other thing, if you kind of look at the deal, it's proposed to take off for students. Students right now that's over in Riverside are riding the bus. I don't know why they would ride the train. If you really look at the line, I personally think it's really to serve dealer development and to serve the airport. But they're coming in on the short term to say this. When it comes to transportation, I am for expanding the bus system more than expanding the trains. When you're talking about the what do they call them, walking bridges, I will tell you I am against them because most of the walking bridges that I've seen put in the state, no one uses. I have seen them in College Station, at the universities. I have seen them over at LBJ. You still see kids running across and not going across the universe. I mean, going over. I'd rather see tunnels being built than the overheads. When it comes to transportation, I am for expanding the highways, using the money to move as many cars as possible. And I have to stop. I should have more time because I had to screw up. I did get more time? Okay.
You're giving me a lot of attention.
Yes, transportation is a huge issue for District 4. For Prop 1, I'm against it. The language is misleading to the voters. It says 600 million and 400 million for you guys to choose. In all reality, you're just picking for the 600 million. 400 million is based on the city council numbers. And the reason why they did that is to get voters who want to fix roads and for them to vote for rail. In all reality, city council can push 400 million of certificates of obligation right now to push for new roads. Or another solution is for us to pass State Texas Proposition 1, which is 100 million to Austin for roads a year. So those are things that we can solve without having rail. Number 2 is I'm in favor for more Metro bus around Austin. I spoke to a lot of voters and they really they're telling me there's no sidewalk, so you know, why am I gonna take the bus? I have to walk to a certain stop. So it's one of the things is maybe talking to the community and providing parking areas, parking lots for people can go park their car and take the bus from there to point A to point B. Number 2, increase Metro Rapid. It's efficient, it's real time, it works. And the next one is basically providing free rides again for the disabled and for their seniors. That relieved 13,000 awesome nights for free bus rides, which was going on for 22 years before it got taken away by city council back years past.
Well, when we talk about transportation solutions, I think the first thing we need to really have is the goal of getting people who have cars to leave them at home and take public transportation instead. And if that is our goal, if we're trying to reduce traffic on our highways and city roads, then we need to really look at Capital Metro as the best opportunity for that. We need to expand Capital Metro and optimize it. You've definitely heard all of us talk about missing sidewalks and safe passage to and from the bus stops. But there's also some bus stops, I'm sure you guys have seen, that are literally just a stick on the side of the road. I have a car, I'm not going to forego my car to stand on the side of a busy road to wait for the bus that's going to take 30 minutes. So I think pass or fail, whether we have rail as an option or not, we need to optimize Capital Metro. Capital Metro should also be running late at night so that we can put a dent in the drunk driving that is happening in Austin from downtown to other neighborhoods. I think there are also other opportunities that we used to have in Austin. I don't know how long some of you guys have been in the city, but remember when there were carpool vans? Every day there are about 90,000 unused seats on the road in Austin. These are solutions that wouldn't require $1 million, $100 million, $1 billion bond to fix. So I think the first thing that we need to do is optimize Capital Metro and really build that system to be an alternative for people who have cars instead of whatever you get because you have to take the bus.
So first on the bond, I am not voting, or I'm not in favor of the bond. I'm not going to echo what all of my colleagues here have said. As far as transportation, we need to make it, we have to expand it and make it more efficient. Kind of one of the examples that I use is when I try to get to work downtown, it would take me about 2.5 hours to get to work. And that's just because the system is very inefficient. So we have to streamline it and make it more efficient and expand it. So we need to, kind of one of the other things I've mentioned since the beginning, since the get-go, is returning the free fixed route services to seniors and disabled, something that we were doing a long time ago, and we stopped doing that. We also need to streamline that process. Some other things we could do is expand, like I said earlier, capacity for all modes, educate employers on shifting workforce out of rush hour, making sure that the employers are educated on how to do that, and providing whether there be incentives or other opportunities for employees to work at different hours, and develop strategies to shift travelers onto other modes of transportation, going back to having them going to carpools using the bus, and obviously they'll use the bus if it's more efficient. We also have to focus on the sidewalks, making sure we have, I think, District 4 has one of the highest, or we are one of the highest, or the district with the highest amount of missing sidewalks. So we need to make sure that we address that issue. One of the ways that I've been addressing that issue as a co-chair of the Restore Rumberg, we've been looking at all of the transportation problems.
This is a great topic, and I want to distinguish myself from the other candidates in that I have been working on these issues in our area, and I want to share those with you as a member of the Restore Rumberg team. You know, you really, from a transportation standpoint, we have to look at health and safety first. The sidewalks that are on I-35 frontage, we need to have some sort of barriers on that. It's incredibly dangerous for our residents to be walking up and down the I-35 area there. And we've met with the Texas Department of Transportation on these issues and said, yes, we need this, and the neighborhoods have got together and said, we have to have something, and they're working on that for us. Also, there was a walking bridge that was planned across I-35, and we got 5 neighborhoods together, met with the Texas Department of Transportation, and put pretty much a stop to that. It's on hold right now because of the dangerous issues with where these things are going to be located, and we actually made a lot of progress on that. Also, on the in the Rumberg area, we reinstated bus services for our Hart Elementary students. At the beginning of the year, they were walking up and down the Rumberg. This was something new that had happened. The buses had been eliminated, and our neighborhoods got together, and we said, we have to stop this, and to prevent those children from walking through the toughest parts of Rumberg. Also on the bond, absolutely not. This thing is incredibly expensive for less than 10 miles. I'm open to rail. This one's just not it. It will increase our debt, and we won't be able to do any major projects after that. So I'm voting no on that. Thank you.